WROC TV8, Rochester.
From Rochester's first television station, this is News 8 Night Beat.
The county smoking ban draws legislative fire. Good evening. I'm Virginia Butler.
And I'm Mark Grimm. 3 hours of debate ended tonight with new and extensive regulations on smoking in public areas in Monroe County.
Also today, the 4th of July in Baldwin Hills, a patriotic celebration of the 4th. And Ted Dawson has a live report on tonight's Angels-Red Sox game. Next on Eyewitness News.
At 7.
This is Channel 7, the #1 station for news and information in Southern California. And now the latest breaking Eyewitness News with Ann Martin, Paul Dandridge, Dallas Raines, Ted Dawson, and the Eyewitness News team.
Good evening and a happy 4th of July to you. Our top story tonight is a warning.
WROC TV8.
Good morning, everyone. This is Wednesday, and it is, what is it, December what, 4th? I forgot. 5th. It's the 5th of December. We've made it all the way to that part of the month. We get well organized around here, as you can see, the morning. Good morning, Gene Schaller.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Jane Pauley. How? As we...
Leonard Nimoy opens the 14th theater season at Nazareth tonight. That story next.
Rochester police report a series of purse snatchings this afternoon. Apparently someone stole a car, then traveled around the St. Paul Boulevard area, grabbing...
Now, Aaron Brown, Harry Wampler weather, Wayne Cody sports, and nightside reporter Melanie Grandford. This is Eyewitness News at 11.
Good evening again. The Cinderella Supersonics look for a fairy tale comeback tonight.
From 6 until 8 with the Mary Tyler Moore Show at 6:30. Now stay tuned for Bewitched.
29 good times.
Keeping you informed and entertained 7 days a week. This is Armed Forces Television, Channel 8, the Far East Network, Okinawa.
Channel 20 has a fresh lineup of programs that offer the variety you're looking for. You'll travel while learning languages such as French and Italian. On Channel 20, your window to the world. Study history through telecourses such as The American Story and Vietnam, a television history. The finest science series available are on WYCC. The Mechanical Universe, the study of physics and biology are some of the courses available. Get a background in business through courses such as The Business of Management. WYCC also offers adult education courses that allow you to further your knowledge. If you enjoy cooking, you'll love Madeline Cook's Kathy's Kitchen and New York's Master Chefs. After all that fine cooking, you'll want to exercise along with Body Electric and Yoga, which both offer a rigorous exercise regimen. Whatever you're looking for, Channel 20 has it.
TV worth watching. Public TV.
You are watching WYCC TV, Channel 20, Chicago. This concludes our commercial programming. TV Channel 22, Los Angeles. This concludes our commercial programming for this time period. Please check your local TV listings for KWHY's next commercial broadcasting schedule. For select TV programming, please...
Far East Network Okinawa Television Channel 8 concludes another broadcast day. Detachment 2 Air Force Pacific Broadcasting Squadron is under the operational control of the Commander Air Force Service Information and News Center and is an affiliate of the Far East Network and the Armed Forces Radio and Television Service. Our studios and transmitters are located in Building 4236 Rycom Plaza, and we operate with a combined staff of Air Force, Marine Corps, Army, and Navy personnel. All programming is furnished by the Armed Forces Radio and Television Service Los Angeles or other Department of Defense agencies and does not necessarily represent the opinion of the Far East Network, nor does it represent an endorsement by the Department of Defense. We invite you to tune to Radio 648 AM or 89.1 FM for continuous information and entertainment. The entire staff of the Far East Network bids you a very pleasant good evening. Ladies and gentlemen, the Star-Spangled Banner.
NBC5, Chicago. Now, live from the NBC Tower, this is the Channel 5 News at 10.
She was crying and saying that the baby's father had done it. That's all she kept saying.
Et discours sur l'état de la province, le gouvernement Lord a acheté le quart des places.
J'ai demandé, suite à ce qu'on me l'a appris, j'ai demandé qu'on vérifie comment ça se comparait avec les années passées.
Bonsoir, mesdames et messieurs. Bien, l'actualité internationale frappe en plein.
Les règles qui régissent les
A rarity, a rabid dog, tonight at 11.
We now return to an all
11 on KOVR 13 News.
I just want to go home to my kids.
Mabel Elaine Cooper, accused kidnapper of baby Michael, released today on bond. She talks tonight for the first time since her arrest. Also, state and federal officers didn't expect to make history on a local pot bust. Tonight at 11, we'll tell you where and how much. And Merced Congressman Tony Coelho finally speaks to his constituents since announcing his resignation. Join us tonight at 11.
Again, we are waiting to join NBC for a special live report. The report we have at this hour is that the U.S. has begun to strike back. U.S. warplanes tonight intercepted an Egyptian airliner that was carrying the 4 Palestinians who hijacked that.
Channel 3 reports news headlines.
Well, again, as you just heard, the U.S. has begun striking back. Warplanes did, in fact, intercept an Egyptian airliner that was carrying the 4 Palestinian hijackers. The American...
This is the TV10 News Break.
Good evening. Today, one of the happiest stories locally turned to tragedy. One of the beach quintuplets, Timothy, died this morning of sudden infant death syndrome.
Hi, I'm Jan Sager.
And I'm Jeff Fox.
Friday night on PM Magazine Buffalo, we'll meet twin teen models.
And we'll take the solar challenge in a new kind of airplane.
That's Friday night on PM Magazine Buffalo, right here on WGR TV2.
Why Canadian gas is so cheap? The answer at 5:30 on News Center 2.
We're ready when you are. Coming home with the news when you do. News Center 2 at 5:30 with the first look at the day's top stories. Then at 6:30, NBC Nightly News covers the nation and the world with John Chancellor and Roger Mudd. All backed by the worldwide resources of NBC Network News. We're ready when you are. News Center 2 at 5:30 and NBC Nightly News at 6:30. All on WGR TV2. You can't get it anywhere else.
This is News 10, News Break.
Good evening, I'm Jennifer Smith. Be sure to join us for News 10 tonight. Coming up at 11, we'll have more.
We make the evenings brighter, KRTV.
Monday at 6, Archie's friend Barney tries his hand at video dating on Archie Bunker's place. Then at 6:30, Jim and Harriet plan a Bermuda vacation on Foot in the Door, followed by the comedy of Alice and One Day at a Time. At 8 o'clock, a fugitive mountain man jeopardizes his freedom in the capture of Grizzly Adams. At 10 o'clock, the MTN News. Monday on Channel 3.
KRTV.
Channel 3, KRTV, Great Falls.
McCarthy's doctors say it was the chlordane that...
Colombo, tonight at 7 on Chicago 66.
Now this Newsbeat update with Donna McNeely.
Good evening, everyone. South African officials have discovered nearly 900 pounds of explosive Soviet-made arms and ammunition in a field near Johannesburg. They say it's...
Tomorrow Tomorrow night at 7, turn back the pages in history to a chapter in the wild and woolly West. Next, a word about the Duchess and the Dirtwater Fox. Saturday night at 7, a chapter in the wild and woolly West.
The 9 o'clock news with John Drury, Denise Cannon, and the WGN News team.
Good evening. Chicago police are still looking for 3 suspects tonight after they broke.
First, for Southwest Indiana, Evansville's original primetime news. This is Fox 7 News at 9.
On campus, leadership. In weather forecasting, it means state-of-technology equipment. A commitment to stay on top of what's coming down. Leadership means understanding the whys of the weather, giving it something extra. Leadership in weather reporting means Betty Vasquez and Tom Laufman, part of a 30-year tradition of news leadership at KCRA-TV, where the news comes first.
Tom Moore, weeknights at 6 and 11 on News Center 25.
From your 24-hour news leader, I'm Denise Keniston. It's about 42 degrees in Spokane at this hour and about 40 degrees in Coeur d'Alene. Is it a case of overreaction to gangs or just a big misunderstanding? A group of Shadle Park High School students says they were thrown out of a local department store because of the color of their skin. And a heated debate amongst Democrats gets personal. Frontrunner Bill Clinton taking shots from both sides. More news in about half an hour.
From KREM 2 Spokane, Coeur d'Alene, your 24-hour news leader. This is KREM 2 News.
He is funneling money to his wife's law firm for state business. That's number one. Number two, his wife's law firm is representing clients before the state of Arkansas agencies. Here's a
This is an Eyewitness News Brief. Here's Harry Porterfield.
Good evening. Coming up tonight at 10, we'll tell you about a hero who came to the rescue of a girl pinned in a South Suburban school bus accident that sent 8 people to the hospital. Also, an exclusive interview with a family of a convicted child molester who say they sought help for him unsuccessfully. And Roger Ebert looks at a book that will tell you which Dynasty star made this movie and why. A flu bug has got some of the Bears down. Tim Weigel will have their prognosis. All that and more on Eyewitness News tonight at 10.
From 10 TV Eyewitness News, this is Newsbreak.
Good evening, I'm Keith Kay. Tonight, the French say we are on the eve of an Allied ground attack. The latest Gulf news tonight. Also tonight, this man goes out of his way to get a message to President Bush. And orange barrels making an unwelcome return to Columbus. We'll tell you when, and we'll tell you where to watch out. Now this.
Every hour, on the hour, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, providing local coverage when you want it.
We listened to what you had to say about how you want to receive your local information and where you want to get it.
And the result is 10 TV Eyewitness News, your 24-hour news source.
Strong.
On the Independent News tonight, she was born 4.5 months premature, but this tiny baby is fighting the odds to survive. 2 more ships attacked in the Persian Gulf War. And in focus, the rebounding sneaker industry.
Good evening, everyone. Her name is Malika, an African word that means angel. She's Malloy.
The Independent News brought to you by the Remington Micro Screen Shaver, by Grape Nuts, and by the Hartz Mountain Corporation.
Moving by leaps and bounds, one of the hottest items around. In focus, next, sneakers, an American success story.
From Los Angeles comes the story of today, the big news. The most complete news report by the most distinguished team of reporters in Los Angeles television.
Good evening, Jerry Dunphy with tonight's big news.
The IRS could owe you money. The tax.
Tonight's top stories on News 13 inside Las Vegas.
Afternoons at 1 on Fox 5.
You're watching KVVU TV Henderson, Las Vegas, where we're bringing you up-to-date information from across the valley. Fox 5 News Daybreak with Christine Mahoney.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Fox 5 News Daybreak. I'm Chris.
WMT TV. Watch Channel 2. Most folks do. Cedar Rapids.
Coverage you can count on. This is NBC 15 News.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us at 6. A critical vote tonight pops up for the Madison School Board.
For 3 years, the districts allow Coca-Cola exclusive rights.
You're watching NBC 15 News at 6 with anchor reporters Mike McKinney and Bess Bakuta. Storm team weather with Chief Meteorologist David George and sports with Craig Kashan. Tomorrow morning. Coverage you can count on. This is NBC 15 News.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us. The Middleton Cross Plains School.
You're watching NBC 15 News at 10 with anchor reporters Pam Towser and Mike McKinney. Storm team weather with Chief Meteorologist David George and sports with Craig Kashan. Tomorrow morning.
That isn't cool. We're going to cool. Tomorrow will be cool.
Yeah, a little bit. 70.
All right. Have a good night.
If you see news happening, call the NBC 15 News hotline at 274-1500. NBC 15 News. Coverage you can count on.
Time starts now. The public gets its say on plans for the new. That's our top story for this August 1st, 2000. Hello, everyone. I'm Lisa Fielding. Jerome.
The booms may have woken you up this morning, so...
You're watching 27 News at 5. Straight to the point.
Hello, everyone. I'm Monique Lavin. And I'm Wendy Warren.
At 6, 27 News. Straight to the point. Straight facts about southern Wisconsin. Straight information about your town. Straight reports on your neighborhood. 27 News. We don't waste your time with unnecessary information. We give you straight-to-the-point newscast you won't get anywhere else. Turn to 27 First News beginning at 5 a.m. Then watch 27 News at 5, 6, and 10. Straightforward. Straight to you. Straight to the point. You're watching 27 News at 6. Straight to the point.
The web of the Jocko's drug case.
Football.
Lots to see at 10. We'll see you then. Take care.
Have a great evening.
If you see news happening, call the 27 News line at 273-2727 or reach us online at WKOWTV.com. Provided by the Industry Connection and SuperNet. Thank you for watching 27 News. Straight to the point. For watching 27 News at 10. Straight to the point.
FEMA has set up temporary
expected to draw some protesters as well. And as Al Gore huddled with his family, George W. Bush met today with potential cabinet members. The recount fatigue draws out.
This is the 5 o'clock news on CBS 2 Chicago.
The war of words is continuing today over the recount of Florida ballots.
Both presidential candidates anxious to...
News happens every day. That's why at CBS 2 Chicago, we're committed to bringing you Chicago's news just the way it happens. Breaking news, the big story of the day and the story behind it. Hard-hitting investigations that get results. Bold coverage of difficult stories that touch people. All reported by a team of experienced journalists. That's our commitment to you. What do we ask in return? Just watch. The news on CBS 2 Chicago, just the way it happens.
CBS Evening News is next with Dan Rather. Have a nice weekend. We'll see you tonight.
Good night.
ABC 7 News, Chicago's #1 news, with Alan Kraszewski, Kathy Brock, weather from meteorologist Jerry Tabb, and sports with Jim Rose. This is ABC 7 News at 6.
The recount's almost over. The White House hangs in the balance. Al Gore and George W. Bush still have very different views on what the numbers mean.
Governor Bush tonight.
Saturday at 10. If your plane crashed, would you be able to walk away? Sounds crazy, but scientists are smashing planes to increase your chances of surviving in a plane crash. Amazing research to keep you safer in the skies. Collision Course, Saturday at 10 on NBC 5 News. Live from Chicago's NBC 5. This is NBC 5 News at 6 a.m.
New this morning on NBC 5, Texas.
This is the 6 o'clock news on CBS 2 Chicago.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on this Veterans Day.
190 North tonight at 10:35.
ABC 7 News, Chicago's #1 news, with Rob Johnson, Cheryl Burton, weather from Mike Kaplan, and sports with Jeff Lancy. This is ABC 7 News.
George W. Bush. Thank you. The NBC 5 News at 8 starts right now.
Live from Chicago's NBC 5, this is NBC 5 News at 8 a.m.
The counting continues.
Good evening, I'm Bill Butel. A bulletin has just been handed me. Dallas District Attorney Henry Wade said tonight in Dallas that palm prints, fingerprints, found on the rifle that slew President Kennedy belonged to Lee Harvey Oswald, who was himself killed this morning by a Dallas nightclub owner. Repeating, fingerprints on the rifle that slew President Kennedy have been found to belong, in fact, to the dead Lee Harvey Oswald.
Two steps ahead.
Action News with Wes Sargenson, Monica Kaufman, meteorologist Johnny Beckman, and John Buren with sports.
For most of the past 24 hours, Atlanta has been a city on the edge of its seat. First,
News time. Brought to you with best wishes of Utah Oil Refining Company. Here's your Utoko newscaster, Doug Mitchell.
Good evening.
This is Western New York's #1 newscast, Eyewitness News Tonight, with Irv Weinstein and Don Postles, Rick Azar on sports, and Tom Joles with the weather outside. Now, Eyewitness News. Now, Don Postles.
Topping Eyewitness News tonight, what started out as a routine weekend report for this Sunday night. Thank you very much for watching. ABC News is next.
From ABC News, this is the Weekend Report. Now from our Washington headquarters, substituting for Tom Jarrell, here's Britt Hume.
Good evening. In Grenada
This is NBC Nightly News. Reporting from New York, Jessica Savage.
Good evening.
WCVB TV Boston, Channel 5 and you. Now, Jack Hines, Ann McGrath, and meteorologist Bob Copeland. This is News Center 5.
Good afternoon. A closed-door meeting is underway this noon. Good evening. I'm Kent Manahan.
This is a Channel 7 News Scene special report with our continuing coverage of the People's Temple story and the murder of Congressman Leo Ryan.
Now with the latest details, Van Amberg and Marcia Brandwin.
Good evening. Here's what's happening. We're interrupting our special broadcasting to bring you this special report, a news break on the People's Temple mass suicides in Guyana and the murder of Congressman Leo Ryan.
On Fever, Wednesday at 3:30.
This is Channel 7 News Scene Tonight, Tuesday, with Ken Matz, Jan Carson, Pete Giddings with weather, Jim Selania with sports. Now, News Scene Tonight.
Good evening. This is News Scene Tonight, live from the streets of San Francisco in front of a...
This is Channel 7 News Scene, your #1 source for news and information covering the Bay Area and the West and the world, with Van Amberg and Terry Lowry, Bob Marshall with the weather, and Jim Selania with sports. Now for News Scene, Van Amberg.
Good evening. Here's what's happening. There are two major stories at the top of our news tonight.
This is Channel 7 News Scene, your #1 source for news and information covering the Bay Area, the West, and the world, with Van Amberg and Suzanne Saunders, Pete Giddings with the weather, and Don Sanchez with sports. Now for News Scene, Van Amberg.
Good afternoon. Here's what's happening. A man with a gun went crazy in downtown San Francisco today at #1 Market Plaza.
Planes have raided North Vietnamese bases for the second day in a row.
From San Francisco, here is the morning news with Bob Dunn.
The town of Vinh Linh, just inside the border of North Vietnam, was struck today by U.S. and South Vietnamese planes. Forecast for the Bay region, fair through tomorrow except high fog near the ocean. Our next news tonight at 7 with Roger Grimsby. Stay tuned now for The Price is Right. This is Bob Dunn. Have a good day.
Every story and all the sports. Jim O'Brien has the AccuWeather forecast and more when Action News comes right back.
WJZ-TV, Baltimore.
Good evening, everyone, and what a Sunday evening for Tim Melton, Charlie Harrison. I'm Van Hackett. We hope you all have a very pleasant evening and a good week. Good night.
"13 Eyewitness News is the #1 news program in Texas.
WDSU TV6 in New Orleans.
News Center 6 tonight with Alec Gifford, Nancy Holland, Buddy DiLiberto, and Dan Milham.
Good afternoon. Tonight's top news, tonight's only news, the crash of a Pan Am 727. That crash on takeoff from New Orleans Airport this afternoon.
What do New Orleanians think of News Center 6?
They got sharp young folks showing the news. It's clear, concise. There's good people doing it.
It's informative and keeps me up to date as to what's going on in the city.
I like the weather Channel 6 does, so I tend to stick to that station more.
I love it. We can't wait to see it every morning, and then in the afternoon, and at noon. We especially enjoy the noon.
News Center 6, morning, noon, and night.
Live from the Fox 6 studios, with coverage you can count on, this is Fox 6 News Daybreak.
Good morning and welcome into Fox 6 News Daybreak. I'm Sarah Versu, sitting in for Janice Rogers this hour.
It's 6:30. I'm Bill Bullen, by the way.
From KTVR's News and Technology Center, this is Fox 31 News at 9 o'clock.
United Airlines passengers in Denver may be in for another round of trouble.
A strike by baggage handlers will affect a lot more than people's luggage. Good evening, everyone. I'm Shawl Turner tonight, and for Libby Weaver.
And I'm Ron Zapolo. It could be a rough day in the friendly skies in Denver tomorrow morning.
Live from WJZ 13, you've got Baltimore's favorite news team. Now, Eyewitness News.
So it's up to the police to protect you.
Simpson speaks out on his most recent legal troubles. That's next.
You're watching Eyewitness News with Denise, Vic, Bob's Winter, and John Sports. People who help make Eyewitness News Baltimore's favorite news team.
You're watching Bob Donnelly, Susan Hirosuna, Greg Ketter Weather, and Randy Dragoon Sports. Fox 11 News at 10.
Tonight there are reports that
your kid's in a gang. How do you deal with it?
I don't know what to do next. I did all I could.
Now, the women who live it tell their story.
I begged the guy not to shoot my son.
Fox Undercover brings home the real story of gangs and mobs.
Don't be so naive to think that it won't happen to you.
A Fox News exclusive Monday at 10.
ABC TV Los Angeles, #1 for news and information. This is Eyewitness News with Steve Wolford, Christine Lum, Dallas Raines weather, and Rick Lozano sports. Now live, Channel 7 Eyewitness News at 4.
I think it's a shame that it...
KCAL 9, voted America's best local news. Now, time for the Southland's most complete local news hour. KCAL 9 News, California reporting.
Good morning, I'm Tiffany Woods. Here are some of the top stories we're working on this morning.
This is NBC News 40, 11 at 11. One of the biggest cases in the history of the Florida Supreme Court is a...
Tonight, first at 10, the presidential deadlock in the hands of the highest court. Tonight, the Supreme Court hears from both sides.
Who's watching you while you shop? Tonight, the truth about holiday shopping security in a live report.
And one foul mix-up. See this surprise a woman got in her McDonald's meal. It's 10 o'clock.
Live, Kurt Ludlow, Shauna Parsons, meteorologist Rod Hill, and Tim Becker Sports. This is the 10 o'clock news.
Good evening. An historic day in Washington, D.C. The nation's highest court is asked to help decide who will be
on K2 News.
Now, new at 11. This is K2 News.
New at 11. Temperatures are dropping and energy is in high demand. As Governor said.
K2 News continues with John and Kathy.
He's going to be real grumpy when he wakes up. That's it for the news at 11. Thanks for being with us.
Good night.
Fisher Broadcasting.
From KGW, where the news comes first. This is Northwest News Channel 8 at 11.
A woman walks into a seaside hotel wondering who she is and how she got there. Now police...
Now, back to Joe Donlin and Laurel Porter on Northwest News Channel 8.
Monica Lewinsky may have to answer.
Now, Fox 49 News at 10.
Does this former Oregon man look like an international spy? The Russians think so, and they've sentenced him to a hefty prison sentence. Good evening, I'm Stephanie Fisher.
And I'm Janelle Wang. Eric Schmidt has the night off. Welcome to Fox 49 News at 10. There's an international tug-of-war tonight between the U.S.
With Jeff Gianola and Kelly Day. This is Coin 6 News at 11.
We are expecting the first winter blast of the season. That's bad news for most, but for...
Live from Coin Center, you're watching Coin 6 News at 11 with Jeff Gianola, Kelly Day, and Captain Warren Petrie in News Chopper 6. Coin 6 News. People make the difference. Closed captioning.
Live from the studios of KPTV, Oregon's 12, you're watching Good Day Oregon with Kimberly Moss, Ken Ackerman, Kathy Smith, Pete Ferryman, Tony Martinez, and Andy Carson.
You know, you're not right, Kim.
You're watching Channel 5 Eyewitness News Midday with John Stone, Lindsay Polo, and Mike LaPointe with weather.
WCCO This Morning starts right now.
Clear, accurate. Time for WCCO This Morning.
Good morning, everyone. It's Tuesday, November 21st. I'm Dave Huddleston.
And I'm meteorologist Chris Grote. Thanks for waking up with us this.
Now, clear, accurate. This is WCCO This Morning.
And welcome back, everyone. The time right now in traffic coming up in 1/2 hour. Perhaps weeks.
You're watching Channel 5 Eyewitness News at 6 with Randy Meyer, Julie Nelson, Dave Dahl with weather, and Joe Schmidt with sports.
Closed captioning sponsored by Samsung. Digital televisions, digital phones, digital displays. Did you know? Samsung Digital. Visit SamsungUSA.com. Everyone's invited.
Are we in the middle of a flu shot shortage here in the Twin Cities? We'll check it out next.
Live from KSTP-TV, this is Channel 5 Eyewitness News at 6:30.
It's in our country's best interest that
Clear, accurate. Time for WCCO 4 News. Live from KSTP-TV, this is Channel 5 Eyewitness News Morning.
Good morning. It's Friday, November 10th. I'm Mike.
You're watching Channel 5 Eyewitness News Morning with Mike Binkley, Angela Davis, Jim Guy with weather, and Rusty Gatenby with traffic.
Welcome back. It's 14 minutes after 5. That Christmas music kind of getting us in the mood this morning.
Clear, accurate. Time for WCCO 4 News.
Just as the airlines gear up for their busiest time of the year, delays and cancellations, lots of them. Hello, I'm Don Shelby.
And I'm Amelia Santinello. If you're planning to fly out of town this week...
Now, Don Shelby, Amelia Santinello, Paul Douglas, and Mark Rosen. This is WCCO 4 News.
If you've been itching to go skiing or snowboarding, you don't have to drive too far.
Thanks for joining us. We'll be back tonight at 10.
Have a good one.
With the trimming. The best 5 minutes of non-stop news starts now.
Clear, accurate. Time for WCCO 4 News.
Tonight, the I-Team uncovers a deal with the medical board to keep a doctor's record secret.
No one knew.
And while they kept the secret, he was disciplined again.
No one knew.
He hurt patients. People died.
Why should this be kept secret when it's dealing with a person's life?
I'm Don Shelby.
And I'm Amelia Santinello. More on that I-Team report in a moment.
You're watching NBC4, the Tri-State News Channel. And now, Sue Simmons, Jim Rosenfield, Janice Huff, and Len Berman. This is News Channel 4, live at 5.
America's new president-elect begins the work of uniting a divided country after a bitterly...
And the Roosevelt School District fights back against its critics. Those stories, meteorologist Bill Corbell with the forecast and Lou Romano with sports. It's all next on the Evening Edition.
24 hours, every day. Long Island's own news network. This is News 12 Long Island. Now, the Evening Edition.
Tonight for the leader of Long
You're watching the CBS 2 Information Network.
right now from the CBS 2 studios
on Fifth Avenue
in the heart of the tri-state area.
This is New York Live.
New York Live. Good afternoon. Well, Stephen Clark.
And I'm Dana Tyler. So glad you're here with us. We've got a new look for you today, obviously. A new name of our show, New York Live, and that is what it is all about. It is about New York. It is live right here every day. Great guests.
It's kind of like taking off the tie and having great guests and stuff like that. Tie up.
Oh, and I didn't notice.
Yeah, same kind of stuff. We're going to have great guests.
You're watching the CBS 2 Information Network.
Now, live from Fifth Avenue, this is the News at 6.
Our top story on CBS 2 at 6.
This is the news leader, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Sweeping changes in store for thousands of New York City's bilingual students.
ABC 7.
Brings Jumanji to life. Then join us for Fox 59 News at 10.
Good morning. It is Thursday, December 28th of the year 2000.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Shireen Sandoval in for Jordana Green.
Thanks for joining us. We have all the news making headlines since you went to sleep, plus weather and traffic.
Protect me, please. Protect me, please.
Friday, on the name of the game, Gene Barry jets to Italy to investigate the mysterious death of a beautiful international playgirl. 90 minutes of movie excitement with an all-star cast on The Name of the Game. And the following night on NBC Saturday Night at the Movies, a memorable motion picture, To Kill a Mockingbird, comes to television for the first time. See Gregory Peck in his Academy Award-winning role.
I've been appointed to defend Tom Robinson. Now that he's been charged, that's what I intend to do. You want to tell us what really happened?
I got something to say. And if you ain't gonna do nothing about it, then you're just a bunch of lousy, yellow, stinking cowards.
See The Name of the Game, Friday at 8:30, 7:30 Central Time. And To Kill a Mockingbird, Saturday at 9, 8 Central Time on NBC.
Chet Huntley, NBC News, New York.
And David Brinkley, NBC News, Washington.
Israel today accepted the American plan for peace in the Middle East. A week after.
Good luck and good night, Chet.
Good luck, David. And good night for NBC News.
How can you be so...
WSM Television reminds you of your responsibility.
Election 68 continues with the latest state and local race returns, brought to you by Delicious Foods of Distinction, Vietti Foods. And now from Channel 4 Election Central, here's Judd Collins.
Independent George Wallace is climbing in early returns from Tennessee's presidential voting. Wallace has the lead in 15 counties. Richard Nixon, who still has the edge in the overall count, has 17 counties. And Vice President Humphrey is trailing with the lead in only 3 counties.
WSM Television, Color 4, Nashville, Tennessee.
And about a half.
Think first. Think fast. Think Central Indiana's #1 primetime newscast. Fox 59 News at 10.
Baptist Temple leaders say the end is near. Good evening, everyone.